Chase Elliott recently found himself in a bit of a pickle thanks to his encounter with teammate Kyle Larson at Kansas Speedway. Larson accidentally bumped into Elliott's number 9 car on pit road, and in response, Elliott nudged him back. This little tussle had fans talking about a potential rivalry brewing within Hendrick Motorsports. Now, Elliott denied these rumors and insisted it wasn't intentional. But Danielle Trotta, a NASCAR journalist, wasn't buying it. She called his actions unacceptable and even questioned his sanity. Meanwhile, AJ Allmendinger offered a rather humorous take on all the tension between these two drivers. However, Elliott isn't just taking all this criticism lying down. He's chimed in with his own thoughts on the matter. On another note, Tyler Reddick had an exciting win at Kansas Speedway. He not only clinched a victory, but did so by beating his boss. And guess what? NASCAR has dropped some significant news about Noah Gragson's racing career. But before we dive into all of that, let's take a moment to hear what racing legend Richard Petty has to say about the current state of the 73-year-old historic track. The King recently shared his thoughts on how Darlington Raceway has transformed over the years. The track's history goes back to 1950 when it was built on land that used to be a cotton field. Interestingly, the land's original owner, who sold it to Harold Brasington for the track, had one unusual condition: that none of the fish in his nearby minnow pond were to be harmed. This condition led to a unique design with one corner of the oval narrower than the other, making it a challenging track for drivers. Now, Richard himself won his first and only Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway 17 years after its opening. Recently, an Instagram user asked him about the differences in the track from his racing days compared to now. Petty pointed out that the track has become much wider and faster over the years. He mentioned that in the past, drivers didn't run right up against the wall as they do today, and the track has changed in terms of how cars navigate it. Despite having only one victory at Darlington in his career, Petty has a strong connection to the track. In fact, he once served as the honorary pace car driver at the 2017 Southern 500. After completing his pace car duties and driving his 1967 No. 43 Plymouth Belvedere, he humorously refused to leave the track, which led to a black flag and plenty of laughter in the racing community. Dale Inman, Petty's crew chief for 3 decades and a fellow racing legend, joined the conversation on Richard's Instagram. He shared his own perspective, highlighting how the racetrack itself has become a challenge for today's racers. Both Petty and Inman, who won 7 Cup Series championships together, agreed that the racing world has transformed significantly, with Richard summing it up as a different world out there, man. Speaking of a different world, it's sure to be one for Noah Gragson when he resumes his racing career soon. That's right, weeks after facing public humiliation, NASCAR has announced a significant update regarding Noah Gragson's racing career. In the world of NASCAR, second chances can redefine a driver's legacy, much like Kyle Larson did when he returned to the Cup Series with Hendrick Motorsports after a suspension by NASCAR and his previous team, Chip Ganassi Racing. Now, another driver, Noah Gragson, who faced suspension due to insensitive actions on social media, is hoping for a comeback. Noah's on the brink of a return to NASCAR racing. His previous missteps and suspension had shed light on the responsibility that comes with being a public figure and the need to understand the consequences of one's actions, even as minor as liking a meme on social media. Following his suspension and exit from Legacy Motor Club's Cup Series roster, which promptly replaced him with John Hunter Nemechek, another talented Xfinity driver, Gragson won't make a direct return to NASCAR's upper tiers. Noted journalist Bob Pockras shared the news of Gragson's reinstatement on Twitter and also posted Gragson's words of gratitude toward NASCAR for giving him another chance. Gragson's return to racing will kick off through the ASA Series at Toledo, starting this weekend. He's likely eager to get back on the track after an unexpected and untimely break from racing. He certainly faces a challenge in regaining support from the racing community. The fans may not forget his past actions easily, which could prove to be a significant hurdle in his career comeback. Noah must be feeling the pressure, but there is one guy out there who is as relieved as a dog finding a bone. And it's Tyler Reddick. Yep, this guy just had an exciting win at Kansas Speedway. It was a pretty thrilling victory, because in this race, he faced off against his team's co-owner, Denny Hamlin, and came out victorious on the final restart of the 400-mile event. Although Hamlin appeared to have the fastest car, Reddick's strong performance during overtime sealed the deal. After the race, Reddick expressed his delight at beating his own boss, recognizing Hamlin's prowess at Kansas and the significance of this victory. In a post-race interview, Reddick acknowledged, "I know that. Definitely talking with them, he was, I think, better than I was at the end of the race. It's just circumstances played out in a way to where I was able to get a better restart, but certainly it is fun to beat the boss. Now, coming to the whole drama involving Chase Elliott, we've got to tell you, he's not exactly feeling the love after his recent stunt at Kansas Speedway. In fact, he's getting slammed bad by the likes of Daniel Trotta and former crew chief Larry McReynolds. Trotta didn't hold back in her criticism, causing Elliott's behavior totally unacceptable, especially when it involved a teammate during a critical race. She even questioned Elliott's mental state and described him as mentally not right for showing displeasure towards a teammate in a high-stakes situation. She believes that there is a rivalry between Elliott and Larson, and she traces its origins to their collision at Watkins Glen in 2022, where Elliott lost out on a victory. She's also baffled by Elliott's body language post-race and his admission that he didn't mean to send a message to Larson. She believes that the incident could have had serious implications if he had damaged the number 5 car. Former NASCAR crew chief Larry McReynolds agrees with Trotta. He says that Elliott needs to learn to control his emotions, especially after he got suspended for crashing into Denny Hamlin earlier this year. He believes that Elliott's behavior is a reflection of his mental state, and he's concerned that it could lead to more problems in the future. Both drivers finished the race, with Larson 4th and Elliott 6th in the order. The HMS duo did have a chat post-race when Elliott rushed to Larson's car to discuss the collision on the pit road. However, it's clear that there is some tension between them, and it's unclear if this is a one-time thing or it could develop into a bigger problem. Elliott doesn't think it will develop into anything because according to him, there isn't any tension to begin with. He made it clear that the pit road incident was blown out of proportion and there's no real feud between them. They were both just caught up in the rush during the pit stop. Speaking on NASCAR radio, Elliott explained saying, "Yeah, we obviously ran into each other at pit road and I didn't have the full picture of what went on. So I was frustrated." He then addressed the rumors that had been circulating about their relationship turning sour, saying, "That's what happened for sure, but at the end of the day, I'll certainly take the blame for my frustration on that front." Elliott made it clear that he and Larson are in good terms and resolved the issue like adults. They had a conversation after the race, and it's a non-issue for them. Here's what he said. "Now, the bad news is, it's a non-issue. For all y'all that want to talk about it, there is nothing to talk about either. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know you guys love your drama." As for the mid-race chat, Elliott explained it was just a normal conversation to understand what happened. "Yeah, I just asked what happened, and he told me what happened. I said okay, it was really that simple." Despite some controversies this year, particularly Larson's clash with Denny Hamlin at Pocono, it seems that the tension between Elliott and Larson might just be a rumor after all. Anyhow, AJ had a rather hilarious take on the whole thing. Reporter Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports asked Allmendinger if he thought Larson and Elliott needed to have a conversation to resolve their issues. Allmendinger responded with his trademark humor, saying, "I could give a crap if they have to talk about, honestly. I don't have to be in a team meeting with them, and I don't have to be teammates with them. So, I don't care if they have to talk to each other." In other words, he's leaving that problem to Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon, not getting involved in the drama. So, do you think this pit road incident is just a minor hiccup, or could it signal deeper tensions within Hendrick Motorsports? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch the next one that will pop up on your screen and smash that subscribe button to stay in the loop with all things NASCAR.